Hi, this is Stacy with Gooseberrybridge Farm, and I am making a video today in my pantry for Jarred Up July, hosted by Angela at the Inquisitive Farmwife and Chris at City Girl Homestead. I think that's right. I'll redo this if that's not right. I'm going to be talking today about how we do this, how we make this pantry full of food, and how we decide like what we are going to be putting in here, what are we going to be putting up, what are we going to be growing. And I have to shorten that just a little bit because we wrote a literal whole book on that called The Preserver's Garden, which I will put right here and link below, along with the playlist for this collab and everything. There's some giveaways, all sorts of exciting stuff that will all be in the description. Okay, let's get started. So if you're new here, this is our pantry. Oh, I can't even see it all because I am too close. We'll come back here. Pantry. There you go. We do a lot of freeze drying. We do a lot of canning. And this time of year, we are bringing in all of this fresh produce. And we also sell at our local farmers market on Saturdays. Right now it is early in the week. I haven't done any of my market harvesting, which won't all fit here. And I have a bunch of paper plates here, so I'll show you what that is. These are herbs. This is toothache plant that I've dried, and chamomile. I let it dry on those, air dry on the paper plates, and then put it in jars later. But back to the topic at hand. I was just in here a few days ago, and I was looking around trying to decide what we should be freeze drying, what we should be canning. We can't grow literally everything that we need for the pantry, so we do buy some produce, especially fruits, and especially fruits. That's pretty much it. So the things I noticed some holes, and also some things that we still have a lot of. I did do a video about a year ago, a little over a year ago, called an empty pantry tour, where I went over everything we had used up and didn't have anymore, and showed all of the empty spaces. And we actually have a lot more this year, which is mostly intentional. We don't like to run out of food. I would prefer to build in a buffer when we're preserving and growing food, so that we have more like 2 seasons, which last season and the year before that, we had a pretty bad tomato year. So we got a little paranoid about our tomato sauce usage. And now this year, we have a ton of extra sauce. I'll show that to you in a minute. Tomato sauce. And we have a lot of salsa, but it's almost all peach salsa, which is because my family really prefers regular traditional tomato sauce salsa. And since we were short on tomatoes last year, we didn't make as much salsa because we always make our sauce first and then our salsa. And I also didn't make tomato soup last year because and the year before, it was a short tomato year, so I didn't make those things. So those things we are out of, but we have a lot of sauce. So this year I'll be starting with salsa and really working up into that. And I eat the peach salsa, so it'll go away eventually. But last fall, we kind of accidentally ended up with 400 pounds of peaches. So that's why we have a lot of peach salsa. It's a topic for another day, but also the same day, so we'll see. So tomatoes. Like, what was I talking about? So this year, we'll be adjusting our tomato canning a little bit. I will do salsa first, and I'm also probably going to make a bunch of ketchup this year. I'm also going to be selling some tomatoes so that we are turning those gardening efforts into cash to put toward other foods like the fruits. Last year we were really lucky and got those peaches for free from a friend. We just had to go pick them. And this year we've already bought 50 pounds of peaches, and we've freeze dried and made some pie filling and canned peaches and peach jam. Those are things, the canned peaches, which I'll show you here because they're so pretty. Here we go. These are the canned peaches that we bought this week. We bought the peaches, then we put them in here. The peaches we got last fall that we got from my friend were smaller and not really the best peaches to do that kind of canning with. So we made a lot of jam and a lot of the salsa. We made peach barbecue sauce. We did a lot of juice, peach, I think that's what this is, peach juice right here. We put it in these small jars for kombucha. And we did like peach sauce, I think, with them too, where we juiced the peaches in the steam juicer and then made it into peach sauce and like applesauce, but peach, and also canned the peach juice. And you can also make jelly out of the juice. Yeah, it's such a long list. That was a crazy peach thing. But anyway, but then we still had some gaps, like the peaches I just showed you, and also freeze-dried peaches, which are somewhere. I guess they're still, I haven't put them up on the shelf yet. But it wasn't, you know, these peaches were not the same kind of peaches. Anyway, so we bought peaches. We'll also probably buy some apples this year. This year our blackberries froze back in March. The old canes froze. We won't have new blackberries this year, so we may have to buy some berries or use our freezer stash if we still have it. I need to check into that to make our usual blackberry products, where last year we had so many blackberries that we were making blackberry lemonade concentrate. So anyway, all of this to say that all of these things change every year, and it's all a lot of moving parts and a lot of planning to make sure you have what. So just to take a look at the other side of the pantry here, we do have empty spaces up there, and also this new empty spot here is where my kids have been eating freeze-dried fruit because they love it. So like I was just saying, fruit is something we will be definitely needing to stock up on this year. But this section, which is here all the way over there, and that box on top, this is all green beans, and this is all from the last 2 years. I haven't actually put any up this year. I am going to still grow our normal fall beans and freeze dry them, and I'll fill in that space over there where I've currently got other stuff. And then we'll just have a lot of them because we do eat a lot of beans. This section here is all freeze-dried squash and zucchini, and we use a ton of that, but that's still way more than we really need for a year. So we have a buffer, everything I intended. Oh, and there's more up there. Okay, but you never know when we're gonna have a really bad zucchini year. Zucchini and summer squash, we have squash bugs, we have cucumber beetles, we have vine borers, and we grow everything organically. And so it's, some years the plants just don't really make much at all. Then we've pretty much, I don't know, we've had a good couple years, so we've got a lot there. Broccoli, we had a phenomenal broccoli year this year. I think I finally figured out how to make a lot of broccoli grow here. And then last year we also got some bulk broccoli that we freeze dried, so I've got a little bit of that left over, and now we've got a good solid broccoli section. I don't have to grow any fall broccoli. Peas are right here. I had a bad year with peas last year. This year was okay. There's probably about 30 quarts of peas here, which means we just won't have peas every single week all winter, and that's okay. Another thing I'm trying to really make sure we have enough of, not sure what this is about, is herbs. We make some herb blends that we sell at the farmer's market that use things like, this is dill. We use a lot of green onions in those blends. So I've got a bunch of these freeze-dried. We've also freeze-dried a lot of cabbage this year, which most of that is in Mylar, but I do have a jar here to see what it looks like. This is just, I mean, isn't it crazy? It's freeze-dried cabbage. We have read that you can use that to make coleslaw, but I have not tried it yet. Making this video because I had so much cleanup to do in here, and I've pretty much decided that, number one, summer is not the time to clean the whole pantry, but I do have to do some like minor resets in order to keep things manageable. like, as you could see when we look around, there's some empty spots in the front. That's clearly not going to work for like putting new stuff on the shelf. So what I have to do to make that possible is I have a system, sort of. I move everything that is old in that a particular section, which I try to keep them organized into like jams and jellies, fruits are back up there, freeze-dried vegetables, tomatoes over there, you know, that kind of general sections. And then I move everything to the left and make lines based so that the oldest is on the left and then the newest is on the right in each section. And it really helps me stay organized. It would be really, really helpful if I was the one taking things out all the time, because I would, you know, move things into place to keep it organized and not have like to do major reset sort of situations. But I'm not, and I am also grateful for that, because I don't have to do all of the cooking and meal prep. So I do have to come in here and reorganize occasionally though. So I recently had to separate our jam and jelly section. Is always the problem child, because it has so many different things, because I don't just make one kind of jam or jelly. It's always fun to make multiple. You have to make multiple batches anyway, because the pectin won't set up if you don't make smallish batches. So I make different flavors, and then I end up with a whole bunch of different things, or batches turn out differently, and then you want to keep them separate, because if a jam is runny, it may make a better pancake syrup than it makes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So then those get to be in different sections. So all that to say, I am constantly trying to move things around in here and keep it so that I can put things away. I have currently a few crates down here. This is kind of where we can get thrown. So these are our empty jars. And then I've got like 2 crates there. This is all the freeze-dried peaches I was just talking about. A ball of yarn, who knows. These are new green beans, even though I just said I wasn't doing those. Apparently I did some. And I also have a little bit more squash in there, and there's something else below there. These are all freeze-dried things, because that's what I've been doing, and also because I can put them in these crates super easily and put it off for another day. So those will all be going up there in the fruit section and in the bean and squash section. And then the jams and jellies, these are all the older ones. Then this is the applesauce section, and then I started a 2026 jam and jelly section. This is raspberry, this is peach, there's some lemonade concentrate, and then all the peaches. So you may notice that all of my fruits are way up high. That is actually just to slow my children down so they don't eat them as fast, because otherwise I'd have problems. Alright, so I think I probably rambled on enough for today and for a video. This is why everything right now. Pantry, the garden, everything is chaos in July. We're just trying to not, not waste any food, get it all put up, get it all in people's mouths, something like that. And making content is kind of taking a back burner to all of that. But I hope you got something out of this, and check out our book, The Preserver's Garden. You can go to thepreserversgarden.com to order it directly from us, and we will ship it to you signed. And I have some other videos in the works and some things I'm really excited to share. So if you're new here, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. So I thought I'd add a quick look around the garden to this pantry chaos situation video, because the garden matches the pantry at this point. There are tubs here somewhere. Oh, there you go, you can see them. They're full of plants. There's some peppers, chaos tomatoes, chaos herbs. The okra is not yet producing, so it still actually looks pretty good. Crazy ton of beans that I'm not even picking anymore because I keep missing them, and then they're too big and it's annoying. Half dead potatoes, about ready to be pulled up, but full of grass. Half dead squash, still producing every once in a while. Crazy ton of sickly tomatoes because of the rain. It's actually raining now, which is weird. It's like, and that one fell down. I need to pick that up. A bunch of kale that's got holes in it. Just absolutely nuts out here. This is supposed to be tomatoes, but this side is tomatoes and this side is beans. Here's some more beans. This is a new plant. I don't even know where this came from. Who knew? Anyway, so just thought I'd give you a quick look at that. I do have some garden videos, like garden tour videos where I explain more garden stuff and how we get a lot of food out of this mess and how we organize everything and time wise and all of that. It might be a while before I get those posted, but anyway, here we are. Now we'll see you next time, for real this time.